Hello, welcome back to IFRS is Easy. If you are new here, welcome to IFRS is Easy. Basically, what this blog does is I talk about financial reporting, especially IFRS. I promised that I was going to do a vlog on how I got a job offer in Canada from Nigeria, and that's the reason why I'm doing this. Okay, so I'll be walking you through the steps one after the other, and I'll be looking at my laptop here because I jotted down some few things that I would like to talk with you about. Okay, so briefly about myself, I currently work in one of the big four accounting firms. I've always been running this IFRS for the past 5 to 6 years, and basically what I do is financial reporting, accounting advisory, and I'm also a chartered accountant. Okay, so before we get into it, let me just put a disclaimer out that I'm not an immigration consultant. Yeah, so what I'll be sharing with you will just be focused on my experience and not necessarily in terms of what a travel consultant will tell you. Okay, so how did it start? Just like several of my friends or colleagues that have traveled out, the first step is to start applying. And I started applying around mid last year. That was when I started applying. I applied to several companies and several countries. Yeah, basically I was more focused on Canada, USA, Europe, UK, Ireland. So it was more North America and Europe that I was focused on. I got some interviews and I also got a whole lot of rejection mails. And I think those rejection mails actually put me in the right direction of, okay, what are those things that I should do or that I should improve upon. Okay, so I applied through several job links, and in fact I had a whole lot of subscription mails always coming into my inbox, which I'll be sharing in the description box, some of the job links that helped me. And basically in terms of getting a job, you have to apply severally. I mean severally, you have to apply. You may be lucky, your first application might actually come through, but it's not in all cases. Yeah, so although there may be exceptions, but it's not in all cases. So you have to apply and keep applying. So let me just jump straight to the interview invite. So I think I was at home one evening and then I just got a call. It was not a Nigerian number. I'd applied to so many, so I was not even sure where the call was coming from. So I got the call. I was speaking to a particular HR. The HR told me that, oh, I got your CV and I liked it, and I think that my team will also like it. So I would like to book an interview with you. Are you free? Of course I am. I was asked several questions on phone. It was more like an interview itself, because I was asked about my background, my educational background, my current experience and all. So after that, then the HR then decided to go ahead and share my CV with the team that I'm working with. So I was booked for, all these things happened within 3 weeks. Yeah, so I was booked for, in fact, within 2 to 3 weeks. So I was booked for an interview. All the stages, aside from the phone call, I had 3 stages. So the first stage was basically an interview with 2 senior managers and one of the HR guys. And then the second one was a written assessment. So I had to answer some scenario-based questions that are based on my unit that I'll be joining. And then the third one was also an interview with a partner. Yeah, so that was basically the stages. So I went through those 3 stages then before I got the offer letter. Everything happened within 2 to 3 weeks. It was like back to back. I mentioned earlier that I started mid last year, and then it was around March this year that I got the offer. The interview started maybe mid-February, and then between that mid-February and first week in March, I got the offer. The processing for Canada is always, if you've ever heard anybody tell the story, is always long. Yeah, for me, on an average, some people will tell you it takes 1 year, it takes 2 years, but my own experience, it actually took 8 months. That's from March till I think October, November, sort of, when I got eventually completed all the processing. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I was interviewing like mad, like crazy. I had so many job interviews that came up during that period. So I was somehow lucky to get 3 different offer letters. So I got one for Canada, I got one for UK, I got another one for Ireland. So I had to go with North America because that was one of those places I was looking to get. Yeah, although on an average for when it comes to Europe, oftentimes, based on the experience of some of my colleagues, it takes an average of 3 months to process their visa, you know. Yeah, but for Canada, it could be 8 months, it could be 6 months, it could be 1 year. I mean, it depends on how long. Yeah, but I was ready to wait for it, so I waited for that 8 months before I got the visa. And basically how the process works is that after the offer letter, then they will do the processing on your behalf. So if you have dependents, like probably your spouse, your children, they do the processing on your behalf. Yeah, so I didn't have to pay for anything. It was just, oh, go for biometrics. After biometrics, I went for medicals. After medicals, I also have to do police reports. Yeah, although as at the time when I did it, I was lucky. It was around 10K per person, and now I heard that it's like 40K per person. I mean naira. Yeah, so I did that as well, and then thereafter, because you have to pay for a police certificate, of course, by yourself. Yeah, so and then thereafter I did the waiting period before I eventually got a notification in my mail that I've been granted a visa. And so after that, although the visa that you get in Nigeria, you still need to get a work permit when you get to the port entrance in Canada. Yeah, so it is when I got to Canada that I now got the work permit itself. But what you get here is what will allow you to travel to Canada. Yeah, so that was pretty much how the processing period was like for me from March till when I eventually got the passport that was stamped, because the notification came through that I should send my passport to them to stamp. So I sent my passport, and then it got stamped, and then I got the visa to travel to Canada before getting the work permit when I got to Canada. So pretty much that's like a summary of it all. Yeah, so basically that's what it is, and this is more like an introduction of what to expect in this aspect of my blog, where I'll be talking about some of those tips that helped me. Yeah, because I have quite a number of things I highlighted that I was going to discuss. So we'll be talking through them in subsequent blogs. So I'll be talking about the interviews, the kind of questions asked, how to answer them, how to position yourself in terms of your brand, in terms of what you need to do to get that job. So I'll be looking forward to having you in subsequent vlogs where I'll be discussing them and highlighting them and taking you through them one after the other. And I'm hopeful that one person will actually get that job and text me. So if you have any questions regarding this, please put it in the description, put it in the comment section rather, and please check the job links in the description box. You may actually find what you're looking for there. There are quite a number of them, so just take your time. And just like I said, I applied to so many, so you may actually do the same thing and then don't give up. I mean, you most likely will actually get what you're looking for in the end. Yeah, so that's pretty much about an introduction, and then I look forward to having your subsequent vlogs. Yeah, please subscribe, and you can also turn on the notification button so that you can get notified anytime I come here to talk about subsequent ones. Yeah, thank you so much. Please like, share, and leave your comment. I'll be ready to read them and also look at those things that you expect to hear from me about my experience. Thank you so much. Cheers.